Well, tonight the Memphis community is in mourning the loss of prominent pastor Ricky Floyd. He was shot outside a downtown bar last night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Pepper Baker. Floyd was not only a pastor, but he also mentored young boys to help them get out of the streets, and he was an advocate for decreasing youth violence.
Lots of information is coming in to us about what happened, and ABC 24 Scott Mattis is live right now in front of Mama's Bar downtown with what we know so far. Scott?
Well, good evening to the both of you. Yeah, it all went down around 1:30 this morning. This when Mama's Bar and Kitchen was closed. And as you said, Ricky Floyd, he was an advocate for violence intervention for decades, not just for the last few years, but for absolute decades right here in the city of Memphis. And about 20 feet away from where I'm standing right now on Kentucky and Crump is where he died. And those who are closest to him have just one question tonight. Why? Early Wednesday morning at the intersection of Kentucky and Crump, at least one shot was fired, leaving influential Memphis pastor Ricky Floyd dead.
You hear news like that, you're caught off guard, you're unsettled, you're shocked.
Dr. Earl Fisher is not only a fellow pastor, but also a friend of Floyd, and tells me Pastor Floyd's death is filled with tragic irony, as both he and Floyd fought tirelessly to steer Memphis youth away from gun violence, with both words and impactful initiatives.
You definitely have to applaud his commitment to being engaged in the community, and now you have to try to figure out what justice looks like for him and his wife Sheila.
According to Memphis police, just before 1:30 Wednesday morning, MPD officers responded to a shooting call on Kentucky at the intersection of Crump in front of Mama's Bar and Kitchen. When officers arrived, they found Pastor Ricky Floyd dead at the scene.
I was preparing at the church, and I had to sit down, and I actually cried because Ricky is my friend.
Officers arrested 42-year-old Samantha Marion and charged her with voluntary manslaughter. MPD says Pastor Floyd and Marion were involved in some sort of a verbal altercation prior to the shooting, when at least one shot was fired, killing Pastor Floyd. Friend Pastor Eric Winston says not only did Pastor Floyd's killing come as a shock, he says that same shocking reality is potentially all around every single one of us on any given day.
If we know what time the thief's going to arrive, I'm going to prepare. And I'm not going to prepare with no water gun.
So at the end of this day, 180 degrees from how it started, there was yet another life taken. But this time, that loss, so many say, will reverberate and echo across this community until this type of senseless violence and killing stops.
I do believe, and I believe Pastor Floyd believed, that there are things that we can do to mitigate this. And then the question would be, have we done it, or have we done enough of it? And I think we're here today because the answer is no.
And so many people across the metro say the exact same thing. The absolute answer is no, as we stand here at the intersection of Crump and Kentucky. Now, the bottom line to this big story, Samantha Marion, she's going to make her very first court appearance tomorrow morning. That's Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. It'll be a video appearance. We will be there, so please stay with us both on air and online. For now, live just south of downtown Memphis, I'm Scott Mattis.